Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Bible trivia quiz. This one's looking at the life of Moses and the book of Exodus. Let's see how well you know the Old Testament, specifically Exodus, getting started with question 1. As always, my name is Jonathan. Let's get started. Question 1. How many plagues were brought by God upon Egypt through his servant Moses? Was it 10, 7, or 12? The answer is 10. The 10 plagues are described in Exodus chapters 7 through 12. God sent plagues to demonstrate his power and persuade Pharaoh to release the Israelites. Question 2. What was the final plague that led to the Israelites' freedom from Egypt? Was it darkness, death of firstborns, or frogs? The answer is death of firstborns. The final plague involved the death of every firstborn son in Egypt, except for those protected by the blood of a lamb on their doorposts. Exodus 12:29 through 30. Question 3. Who was the brother of Moses who helped him confront Pharaoh and perform miracles? Is it Abraham, Aaron, or Joshua? The answer is Aaron. Aaron was chosen by God to be Moses' spokesman and assist him in leading the Israelites out of Egypt. Exodus 4:14 through 16. Question 4. What did God use to lead the Israelites out of Egypt and through the wilderness? Is it a map, pillars of cloud and fire, or a guiding angel? The answer is pillars of cloud and fire. God guided the Israelites through the wilderness with a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. Exodus 13:21 through 22. Question 5. What was the first feast Israelites observed in Egypt? Is it Passover, Feast of Tabernacle, or the Day of Atonement? The answer is Passover. The Passover was a yearly festival during which the Israelites remembered the Lord's deliverance of the houses of Israelites when he smote the Egyptians. Exodus 12:14 and 27. Question 6. How many years did the Israelites spend in Egypt? Is it 340 years, 430 years, or 600 years? The answer is 430 years. Now the sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in Egypt was 430 years. Exodus 12:40. Question 7. What did Moses use to part the Red Sea and allow the Israelites to walk on dry land? Was it a staff, a sword, or a menorah? The answer is a staff. Moses used his staff to part the Red Sea. But lift thou up thy rod, and stretch out thine hand over the sea, and divide it, and the children of Israel shall go on dry ground through the midst of the sea. Exodus 14:16. Question 8. Who was the sister of Moses who watched over him in the basket floating in the river? Miriam, Tamar, or Rachel? The answer is Miriam. And the name of Amram's wife was Jochebed, the daughter of Levi, whom her mother bare to Levi in Egypt. And she bare unto Amram, Aaron, and Moses, and Miriam their sister. Numbers 26:59. Question 9. What did the Israelites put on their doorposts to protect themselves from the final plague in Egypt? Is it a scarlet cord, lamb's blood, or palm branches? The answer is lamb's blood. Go and select lambs for yourselves, and kill the Passover lamb. Take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and touch the lintel and the 2 doorposts with the blood that is in the basin. Exodus 12:21 through 22. Question 10. What is the first plague unleashed by God in Egypt through Moses? Is it frogs, gnats, or blood? The answer is blood. So Moses and Aaron did just as the Lord had commanded. In the sight of Pharaoh and his officials, he raised the staff and struck the water in the Nile, and all the water in the Nile was turned into blood. Exodus 7:20. Question 11. Which of the 10 plagues of Egypt lasted for 3 days? Is it boils, darkness, or locusts? The answer is darkness. So Moses stretched out his hand toward heaven, and there was pitch darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. Exodus 10:22. Question 12. How did Pharaoh try to counteract the plagues brought upon Egypt? Is it sacrificing to idols, called his magicians, or ignoring the plagues? The answer is called his magicians. Pharaoh then summoned wise men and sorcerers, and the Egyptian magicians also did the same things with their secret arts. Exodus 7:11. Question 13. What is the 5th plague that struck the Egyptians? Is it hail, boils, or livestock pestilence? The answer is livestock pestilence. The hand of the Lord will bring a terrible plague on your livestock in the field, on your horses, donkeys, and camels, and on your cattle, sheep, and goats. Exodus 9:3. Question 14. What is the 8th plague on Egypt? Is it hail, locusts, or frogs? The answer is locusts. The locusts came up over all the land of Egypt and settled on the whole country of Egypt, and they ate all the plants. Not a green thing remained, neither tree nor plant of the field. Exodus 10:14-15. Question 15. On what day did the Israelites depart from Egypt? Was it the 15th of Nisan, the 1st of Tishrei, or the 10th of Av? The answer is the 15th of Nisan. They set out from Ramses in the 1st of the month. On the 15th day of the 1st month, on the day after the Passover, the people of Israel went out triumphantly in the sight of all the Egyptians. Numbers 33:3. Question 16. How long did the Israelites wander in the desert before reaching the Promised Land? Is it 30 years, 40 years, or 50 years? The answer is 40 years. And your children shall be shepherds in the wilderness 40 years, and shall suffer for your faithlessness until the last of your dead bodies lies in the wilderness. Numbers 14:33. Question 17. On what day did Moses receive the 10 Commandments on Mount Sinai? Is it the 6th of Sivan, the 10th of Tishri, or the 14th of Nisan? The answer is the 6th of Sivan. Shavuot, Feast of Weeks, is celebrated in Judaism on the 6th day of Sivan and is traditionally associated with the revelation of the 10 Commandments to Moses and the Israelites at Mount Sinai. Question 18. How many days were the Israelites allowed to gather manna in the desert each week? Is it 5 days, 6 days, or 7 days? The answer is 6 days. 6 days you shall gather it, but on the 7th day, which is a Sabbath, there will be none. Exodus 16:26. Question 19. How many years is the age gap between Moses and Aaron? Is it 10 years, 3 years, or 5 years? The answer is 3 years. According to Exodus 7:7, Moses was 80 years old and Aaron was 83 years old at the time when they spoke to Pharaoh. Question 20. What was the first camp the Israelites went to after leaving Egypt? Is it Succoth, Pithom, or Goshen? The answer is Succoth. Exodus 12:37 states, the Israelites journeyed from Ramses to Succoth. There were about 600,000 men on foot, besides women and children. Question 21. Where did the Israelites camp after departing from the wilderness of Sin? Is it Rephidim, Kadesh Barnea, or Meribah? The answer is Rephidim. Exodus 17:1 states, "Then all the congregation of the children of Israel set out on their journey from the wilderness of Sin, according to the commandment of the Lord, and camped in Rephidim." Question 22. How many times did Moses ascend on Mount Sinai to receive the commandments from God? Is it 3 times, 5 times, or 7 times? The answer is 3 times. Moses ascended the mountain around 8 times in total, but according to Exodus chapters 20 through 34, only 3 of those occurrences Moses went up specifically to receive the commandments from God. Question 23. How many days did Moses spend on Mount Sinai receiving the commandments from God? Is it 7 days, 40 days, or 10 days? The answer is 40 days. Moses was commanded by God to ascend Sinai to receive the stone tablets that God had prepared. Moses remained there for a duration of 40 days and 40 nights. Exodus 24:12 through 18. Question 24. Who was the father of Moses and Aaron? Is it Kohath, Levi, or Amram? The answer is Amram. According to Numbers 26:59, Moses' father is Amram. Moses is a Levite through his mother's side, Jochebed, who is the daughter of Levi and a sister of Kohath. Question 25. Who were the 2 who supported Moses' hands up while Joshua fought against Amalek? Is it Joshua and Caleb, Eleazar and Phinehas, or Aaron and Hur? The answer is Aaron and Hur. Exodus 17:12 states, "But Moses' hands were heavy. Then they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat on it. And Aaron and Hur supported his hands, one on one side and one on the other side." Question 26. What place in the Bible later called Massa and Meribah after Moses struck a rock to bring out water? Is it Eridu, Mount Ararat, or Rephidim? The answer is Rephidim. Exodus 17:1 through 7 describes Israel camping at Rephidim and grumbling about the lack of water. Then Moses struck the rock and water came out, and the place is called Massa and Meribah. Question 27. Which battle did the Israelites defeat the Amalekites in the wilderness? Is it the Battle of Jericho, the Battle of Beth Horon, or the Battle of Rephidim? The answer is the Battle of Rephidim. Exodus 17:8 through 13 states, "Then Amalek came and fought against Israel at Rephidim. So Joshua overwhelmed Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword." Question 28. What was the name of the high priest who served during the time of Moses? Is it Eli, Samuel, or Aaron? The answer is Aaron. Then bring near to you Aaron your brother and his sons with him, from among the people of Israel, to serve me as priests, and you shall make holy garments for Aaron your brother, for glory and beauty. Exodus 28:1 and 2. Question 29. What tribe of Israel was responsible for the tabernacle and its furnishings? Is it the Ephraimites, the Gileadites, or the Levites? The answer is the Levites. Appoint the Levites over the tabernacle of the testimony and over all its furnishings, and over all that belongs to it. They are to carry the tabernacle and all its furnishings, and they shall take care of it. Numbers 150. Question 30. What was the name of the bronze serpent that Moses made in the wilderness? Is it Nehushtan, Leviathan, or Behemoth? The answer is Nehushtan, and he broke in pieces the bronze serpent that Moses had made, for until those days the people of Israel had made offerings to it. It was called Nehushtan. 2 Kings 18:4. Question 31. Who is the skilled artisan chosen by God to build the Ark of the Covenant? Is it Moses, Shamgar, or Bezaleel? The answer is Bezaleel. According to Exodus 31, 1 through 11, Bezaleel was chosen by God to build the Ark of the Covenant along with other sacred objects such as the tabernacle, the table, the lampstand, and the altar. Question 32. What are the two objects the priest used to determine God's will? Is it diamond and emerald, ruby and jasper, or Urim and Thummim? The answer is Urim and Thummim. The Urim and Thummim are two objects kept within the breastplate of the high priest and were reserved for important decisions or seeking divine guidance. Exodus 28:30, 1 Samuel 28:6. Question 33. Who is the daughter of Jethro, the priest of Midian, who married Moses? Is it Esther, Deborah, or Zipporah? The answer is Zipporah. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and Moses was content to dwell with the man, and he gave Moses his daughter Zipporah. Exodus 2:16 through 21. Question 34. What was the name of the Levite who led a rebellion against Moses and Aaron? Is it Korah, Nadab, or Abihu? The answer is Korah. Now Korah the son of Izhar took men, and they rose up before Moses with a number of the people of Israel. They assembled themselves together against Moses and against Aaron. Numbers 16, 1 through 3. Question 35. Who is tasked to carry the Ark of the Covenant? Is it the Kohathites, the priests, or the elders? The answer is the Kohathites. The Kohathites are one of the 3 main divisions of the tribe of Levi. They are responsible for the care and transportation of the most sacred items of the tabernacle and later the temple. Numbers 4, 1 through 15. Question 36. Which of the following is not found inside the Ark of the Covenant? Is it manna, stone tablets, or menorah? The answer is the menorah. The Ark of the Covenant contained the stone tablets, a golden jar of manna, and Aaron's staff, according to Hebrews 9:4. Question 37. What was the name of the prophet who predicted the coming of the star out of Jacob? Is it Balaam, Elijah, or Elisha? The answer is Balaam. Balaam was a non-Israelite prophet who predicted the coming of a star out of Jacob, a reference to the birth of Jesus. Numbers 24:17. Question 38. With what should a grain offering be seasoned? Is it salt, cinnamon, or garlic? The answer is salt. Every grain offering was required to be seasoned with salt. This was a symbol of the covenant between God and his people, as salt was used in ancient times as a preservative and a symbol of permanence. Leviticus 2:13. Question 39. What is the law of Moses that required slaves to be free and debts to be forgiven? Is it tithing, Sabbath, or Jubilee? The answer is Jubilee. Consecrate the 50th year and proclaim liberty throughout the land to all its inhabitants. It shall be a jubilee for you. Each of you is to return to your family property and to your own clan. Leviticus 25:10. Question 40. On which particular day of the year is the Feast of First Fruits celebrated? Is it the 14th of Nisan, the 16th of Nisan, or the 8th of Adar? The answer is the 16th of Nisan. The Feast of First Fruits is every 16th of Nisan, the day after the Sabbath following Passover. Bring the sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest to the priest. On the day after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it. Leviticus 23:10 through 11. Great job. You made it to the end. How did you do? Let us know in the comments section below. Hopefully you did alright. If not, better luck next time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this video to stay up to date. Hope to see you next time. Have a wonderful day.